did say there's a big game in the English Premier League, and it's the North London derby. It's Arsenal taking on Jose Mourinho's Tottenham Hotspur, and Mourinho says that his 100% managerial home record against the Gunners means nothing as his Spurs side prepare to face their North London rivals on Sunday. The Spurs boss has hosted Arsenal a total of 10 times as manager of Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham, and has never tasted defeat, winning 6 and drawing 4 of those encounters. And now, ahead of the clash on Sunday, football pundit Stephen Nicol says that Tottenham have the edge over Arsenal in light of Mikel Arteta's struggles with his squad.
Arteta is struggling right now to sort it out. You know, when he went in there, he got them in a good defensive shape, and they broke. That only lasted for 6 months. Since this season started, they kind of look as though they've had enough of that, but they don't have the players to change it. So Arsenal is probably the hardest one of all. Other than a huge overhaul of the playing staff, right now there are so many things wrong. It's difficult to where you start. I guess where you start is getting them back to the attitude they had when Arteta went through the door.
Well, he believes that Spurs have the advantage, Chris, and you've got to say on form. And taking a look at the log standings, Spurs sitting proudly on top of the English Premier League, and Arsenal having to suffer the indignity of being in mid-table.
They're sitting in mid-table at the moment, and this is after...
And that's putting it nicely.
They're putting it nicely.
In the bottom half of the table.
We had seen something in Arsenal, I think, towards the end of last season, beginning of this season, and I think Arsenal was quite hyped up. Where they're sitting at the moment is just indicative of the fact that Arsenal still have a long way to go. I think what we're seeing on the other side is that Tottenham have almost clicked. Mourinho's found a formula that works with that team. They believe in his methods, and it's starting to show. So completely different sides for these two teams.
Barry, David Seaman, a former Arsenal goalkeeper, okay, legendary goalkeeper, one of the best that we've seen in English football. He is backing his former club to beat Spurs, okay? Contrary to Chris's opinion, contrary to Steve Nicol, and contrary to a lot of people out there who see Spurs as the better team. He says that they should get the job done, but he doesn't see them keeping a clean sheet.
It's going to be determined by the match plan. Arsenal is well capable of beating Tottenham. Whether they will or not is going to be determined by the match plan. And for me, there's one central piece. In offense, they've got to get past Sissoko. In defense, they've got to shut Ndombele down. Ndombele has the most dribbles of all Tottenham players. He's the one who they offload to and then expect to subtract before he makes that penultimate pass before they get into the incision zone. So for me, if they shut down those two players in offense and defense, they got a chance.
How key is it that Thomas Partey, who is being talked about as being in contention for a return, how key is it that he's available?
Critical. The two players I spoke about are midfielders for Tottenham. That midfield of Arsenal is lightweight without Thomas Partey. If he's in it, they've got to shout, because then offensively, they've got somebody, well, defensively, they're able to shut Tottenham down and begin to play. And Thomas Partey can play that role.
One of the things that we've seen about Spurs, Alois, and you'll be happy about this because you were a striker and you loved scoring goals. Spurs are scoring goals, plenty of goals, and that's mainly because of Son and Harry Kane. Harry Kane is an injury concern, and if he's missing, that could be a big blow for Spurs.
Yeah, it could be a big blow for Spurs, Mike, because usually goals are scored through combinations. You know, those guys have found each other. You know, they actually have a repertoire that is actually working well. Sometimes you don't know who is playing as a target man, who is behind. They're actually interchanging so easily, you know, and they're doing it very well, and the goals are coming in easily as well. So if he doesn't make it, then it can be a problem. But if he does make it, then it's going to be a very big problem for Arsenal, because when those guys are on song, then they are going to score. That's why Dave Seaman doesn't see them keeping a clean sheet, because he knows that they are capable of scoring goals.
Which player over your career did you enjoy your best partnership with?
Definitely. Definitely it has got to be Stuart.
It has to be Stuart. Now, the reason why I'm asking is, was it because of the natural chemistry you guys had, or was it something that Kwashi was able to put together? What made it work for you two?
I think it was the natural chemistry. It was not anything to do with Kwashi. Kwashi just took a pairing that was already in sync, and just, you know, I knew exactly what Stuart was going to do with the ball. As soon as he starts running, I would know his definite run, that if he's touching the ball this way, he's going to do that. this way. If he is going to just take a run this way, I knew exactly what his next move was. It was just so instinctive that I would know where to go, knowing that I'm going to meet his ball there. Wouldn't even support him because I would push up borders and with a leg over. Because that guy is beaten. So what I must do, I must just go into the box and make my run diagonal so that he can cross it for me. And he already knew as well that if I go this way, I'm gonna cross. Gaza is gonna meet it that way. I think that is what Tottenham has found in Song and Kane.
That's what I was gonna say. That it looks like they found a combination that is working. It looks almost instinctive. Alois is talking about he knew what Shuto was going to do even before he started doing it, and we are seeing that again, where sometimes Son will start making the run whilst Harry Kane is still driving with the ball, and then the pass comes and it comes exactly with the right weight and in the right area, and that is why their combination that is working. I'm going to ask you guys your predictions a bit later on, but I just want to give the rest of the fixtures in the English Premier League. Aston Villa versus Newcastle United, which was supposed to be on tonight, has been postponed after Newcastle United were hit hard by the coronavirus this past week, unable to train, and so that clash has been postponed. The other fixtures are Burnley versus Everton, Manchester City will host Fulham, West Ham versus Manchester United, Chelsea versus Leeds United could be a good encounter, that one. West Brom versus Crystal Palace, Sheffield United, the Blades take on Leicester City, Liverpool entertain Wolves at Anfield, and of course the big game that we were talking about, Spurs versus Arsenal. Now, your predictions, starting with you, Baz?
I am going to go for a look, I don't like sitting on the fence, but I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, Chris?
2-1 to Tottenham.
2-1 to Tottenham, Bunch?
I would like Arsenal to get something out of this because I like Arteta. I'm actually feeling sorry for him. He's under fire right now. So I hope I'll be praying for him. He will get a 2-2 draw.
You'll get a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, 2-2
because
draw
Bunch
After
is...
your prayers.
Because Bunch is praying for him, okay? And captain's pick, Chris?
No, we haven't heard your prediction, brother.
Listen, I'm going to go with... I'm with Chris. I think 2-1 to Tottenham. They should win. And Chris, I'm going to ask you, captain's pick. Who should we pick? Okay, there are lots of people out there who are playing fantasy football. Lots of guys on the Z Fantasy League. Who should we give the armband to this coming match day?
First of all, I'm going to put a disclaimer and say that my fantasy is in shambles. But my captain's pick, I'm going to go with Sergio Aguero. They are going up against Fulham, and I fancy that they'll be able to do the business, and Sergio Aguero scores goals.
Let's hope that what's his name, Guardiola, doesn't surprise us and keeps him
That's the problem
altogether.
That's the so I would agree with the Man City pick. I would probably go KDB.
KDB.
I think if you want the money, go for Son.
Go for Son. You think he's going to score
2 goals? He's going to score.
There could be a blank game that North London derby.
That game is going to produce a lot of goals.